Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Okay, first of all, before I start, want to thank you all for supporting this channel. And I want to thank everyone for leaving the wonderful comments. It just makes me feel that I'm more in touch with you when you do that. So I thank you so much for letting me know what you think about these videos. Now, I want to talk to you about the narcissistic child. Okay, one of the followers asked me to address this title, so I'm going to explain it to you the best I can. All right. First of all, a child who is showing narcissistic tendencies, most times he's mimicking what he learned from a parent, or the caregiver was a narcissist. And this child is already showing uncontrollable traits. For instance, the child is lying. Some of these children are habitual liars, and that can be detrimental to the child, detrimental to the family, or whoever the child is getting contact with. Because as the child grows older, the lying gets more we'll say he has more experience lying, which means that he can lie without really being detected right away that he's lying. All right, and that can be dangerous. Now, the other thing, these children believe that they are entitled. That's one reason why they can boldly lie. They think they have the right to do whatever they feel like doing. And this all comes from the narcissist, because this is the way that the narcissist feels. Now, for those of you who are just joining me, I want to explain about the narcissist, because I'm a spiritualist. I don't speak from religion. I speak from a spiritual end. Now, the narcissist has been possessed by an evil spirit. Now, somebody asked me, now, are there several spirits around? This is a Jezebel spirit. I say it so that you can understand, because if you're biblical in any way, you've already heard about Jezebel and the Jezebel spirit. Okay? The Jezebel spirit was a jealous spirit, a destructive spirit, and a spirit that really didn't care about other people. It's about deception and destruction. That's the easiest way to explain what the Jezebel spirit is. It's about destruction and evil. Now, somehow this child is being influenced by this evil spirit. So you're going to see a lot of things in the child that you would see in a regular narcissist. For instance, they're going to be sexual. So if you have a child, all of a sudden they're sexualizing everything in their language, in the way that they carry themselves, and, they seek out sexual things. The narcissist child would do that. The narcissist child will engage in sex long before they are of age to do that sort of thing. Because remember, it's an evil spirit influencing this child. Now, because if this child has not been traumatized into the narcissism, I believe the child can still heal. I believe that there's still hope for the child. But if the child was raised in a very destructive environment, and the child has already accepted the demon, it's going to be a long, hard road, because that demon is going to take over that child's life. And where does that leave? Where does that leave the parent? The parent is left in confusion. They don't know what to do. They try to deal with their child. They love their child. They love their child, but parents can feel hopeless when you have a child that's narcissistic. Now, the clinical people say the child needs to go into therapy. Well, I really don't see how therapy can help when you're dealing with evil. When you're dealing with an evil spirit, I don't see how therapy can help. You know, you can certainly start to meditate, pray for your child, that the universe will release them from this evil, but somehow, some way, if the child is young, maybe you can show them a different path. But this child is going to be destructive, hurtful. He's going to lie. He's going to steal. All the things that a full-blown narcissist would do, this child would do. And you can look and see these patterns in your child, and I'm telling you, you can feel hopeless and helpless in a situation like that. You know what you do? Just let the child be, and let the child just go on and be what he be. You don't want to do that. You want to, as parents, we want to help our children. But if you have, if one of the parents is a narcissist, that's usually how these children get that pattern from the narcissist. And I've seen it in the family where the father's the narcissist, and one of the children or two of the children take on those traits. Now, while they're in the home with the narcissist, they go along, they may disrespect the other members of the family, even the mother. If the father's the narcissist and he's teaching the kids to be narcissists, well, they're going to do what the father does. You see? So if the father is disrespecting the mother, they will too. They will too. And, if the narcissist has sexualized them in any way, you see, that's what they're going to take. That evilness is going to take on that child. The evilness is going to jump right on that child. That child doesn't know how to handle it because he's still developing. The child is still developing. You see? So he's learning from the parent how to be an adult. And if he's raised in the home of a narcissist or raised around a narcissist, maybe the parent isn't the narcissist, maybe the grandparent is the narcissist. You see? Whomever is influencing, has influence over that child, can teach that child narcissistic traits if they're a narcissist. Because the narcissist wants to groom more people to be narcissistic. That's a part of the evilness of the narcissist. He's not just out here just to be. He's got a mission. He's got a mission. And if he can influence as many children as he can, and then they'll grow up being narcissistic. They think that that's the only way to be. They don't know anything different. And it's, I raised my 3 boys on my own because I did not want them influenced by outside people. And, you know, as I said, my dad was a narcissist, and I didn't want him influencing, you know, my boys or anything like that. Because the narcissist is all about himself or herself. Everything they do is to benefit them. So your child, you can look at your child. Is everything they do about them and they don't care about anybody else? Do they disrespect you? You say, do they lie to you right in your face? Do they talk to you any kind of way? They don't care what you think. They don't care what you say. They're going to tell you what they're going to do. Is something wrong there? Is something wrong there? That's evilness. Now I'm talking as if you're not the narcissist. I'm talking as if you're not the narcissist. I've even seen a narcissistic child disrespect the narcissist. Flat out. I've even seen the narcissist child steal from the narcissist, steal from the family. You see? And this is happening, unfortunately, in a lot of families. You have a child or children who have taken on this trait, and you're at your wit's end trying to figure out what happened, how it happened, and what to do about it. The best thing that you can do is to love yourself, take care of yourself, and keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Sometimes when you have narcissistic children, as they grow older, sometimes you just have to let them be who they're going to be. Let them, walk that path. Because your main objective in this life is to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. You see? Now, of course, you love your children and you want to do everything you can to take care of your children and to protect your children. And it's unfortunate if they've come in contact with the narcissist somewhere and taken on these traits. Now, you can spend time to, spend time with your children doing other things, fun things with the family, get their mind in a more positive direction. You can do things like that. But just confronting them about their ways is not going to work. It just makes them angrier and angrier. Because remember, the evil spirit is in their ear. And the evil spirit is portraying you to them like you're the enemy. Like you're the enemy. You see? So the evil spirit makes them feel like they need to defend themselves against you. Now the spirit feels like if it can get you on board, and comply with these narcissistic ways, you see, then the spirit has done its job. The spirit really wants to grab all of you and drag you down the dark hole. And that's why he's jumped on your children. Because he knows that's where your heart is, with your children, you see. You want to protect your children. No harm come to your children. But now your children are jumping in your face and want to fight you for no reason. Cursing at you, doing all sorts of things to you. You know that's evil. You know an evil spirit is in the midst. It's evil. Now, the parent needs to be strong when it comes to this, because you don't want to be drawn into that energy. Remember, it's all about the energy. You don't want to be drawn into it. That's why I say, take care of yourself. You got to be strong. So you need to be doing your affirmations, raising your vibration every day, so that you can stand strong with evil everywhere. Everywhere. You know? Because when your kids go out into the world, it's people out there who are narcissistic, that are influencing your children. They're influencing you. They're fortifying whatever has happened to them to make them take on these narcissistic tendencies. When they go out around other people, the narcissist, that narcissistic energy brings other people to that child to reinforce that energy, to reinforce it. Yeah, you on the right path. Yeah, you keep doing this way. Yeah. And that's what's happening to a lot of kids that we see out here on the street, that they've had to leave their homes. Maybe the narcissist is at the home, or the home is so bad they left. Or maybe somehow the narcissist got to them and they just left. Because there are some good families out here where the evil spirit has gotten on the child. The evil spirit is influencing the child. You see, and the parents don't know what happened. So the parents may not have done anything, but somehow the evil spirit has creeped in on this child, and the child has listened. You see? And the evil spirit has brought other people into the child's life to encourage it, to fortify it, to tell them, yeah, we're in this together, away from you. Because remember, this is the thing you need to remember, is that this evil spirit is out to destroy. There's no good in it. There's never going to be any good in it. And remember, this is an ancient spirit. This is not something new. This spirit has been around for ages, lifetimes. It knows exactly what to do. And for people to think that they can fight an evil spirit, I don't understand that. You can ask the universe, which is all powerful, to protect you from these things, to protect you from evil, protect your kids from evil. But everybody has free will. You got to remember this. You can pray for your kids all day and all night, but when it boils down to it, everybody has free will. You try to teach your kids so that they can be aware when these things come. How to say no, and you don't want to do this and you don't want to do that. But because the spirit is so cunning, it can get into your children without you realizing it. Have you watched those TV shows that they're watching? We set our babies right in front of the TV, little baby, just to keep them quiet, set them in front of the cartoons, and then we just go on about our business. You need to look at those cartoons. A lot of them are already grooming those little minds, grooming their little minds to be narcissistic. And as they grow up, same thing. I remember when the video games first came out, they were fun, the little eating things, and it was puzzles. You had to figure out how to get through the maze. It was all more mental stuff. Now, Now look, watch what's happening in the world. Now, the video games are all about war. War, shooting, killing, and all of that. And they're gory. They show the blood and everything. But what do you think? All of this is the evil spirit grooming your children to be evil, to accept evil, to accept it. And it's all on TV, radio. It's everywhere. It's on your job. It's at church. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And you have to be strong enough to navigate through it. Navigate through it. Even sometimes you have to step away and let your kids find their own way. Because it seems like a lot of times the more you try to talk to them and love them and whatever you need to do with them, they reject it. They reject it. Sometimes you just have to let it be. Especially if they're old enough to take care of themselves. You just have to step away. But continue to build yourself. Build yourself up. Love yourself. No matter what. You love yourself. Do not let anybody with these narcissistic tendencies make you feel bad about yourself or down or like you can't, you might can't help them, but you can help yourself. Don't you feel helpless in your own right. It's important for you to be strong and to stand strong and to be positive. Always be positive. See, these are the traits that the narcissist wants to destroy. Doesn't want you to be happy. Doesn't want you to be strong. Doesn't want you to be independent. He wants you to be dependent so that he can control you. And he wants you to be fearful. Fearful. That's why a lot of them try to intimidate you. They want you to be afraid of them, if they can. I've seen, some of these kids, especially when they get in their teenage years, they just jump at the parents, bark at the parents, trying to intimidate. Come on. That's evil. That's evil. You might have to just let them go. Let them go. And one day, hope. One day you have hope that they will heal from whatever pain they're going through, because see, this evil spirit works on a person's pain. So maybe somewhere the child, felt some kind of pain and the evil spirit came for comfort. That can happen. And it may not have anything to do with you. It may be something else that the child has not talked about or whatever. I'm going to say something about this because I think this is important. In today's society, because the way they've worked it, that the man and the woman, you're married, you both got to get out here and work. That leaves the child going to the babysitter when he's little. You send your child off to the babysitter so you can work. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you my opinion that it's a bad idea. I'll tell you why. It is so many kids getting molested by the babysitter or getting physically harmed by the babysitter. The babysitter knows how to hurt your children in a way that didn't show any marks, so you won't know. Your children may be crying when you take them to the babysitter, but you don't know why. You got to go to work. Kid, you got to stay here because I got to go to work. You don't know what's going on with your kid at the babysitter. Now, I know these days they got, these centers, the kids are there and they got cameras and all of that. But still, somebody else is raising your child. Somebody else, you ain't raising them. You only get home 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night. You exhausted. You see, and it starts over all over again. Then when Saturday comes, then you got to do all these other things for Saturday, Sunday. Maybe that's a day of rest. But when the kid, somebody else is raising your kid. And with this narcissism, everywhere, you can't trust anybody. You're just giving them your kid, your little fresh little baby to raise. People, think about that. Think about that. I know when I had my boys, I tried to do everything, even get a job where I could be with my boys and still do the job, which was very tricky. It was very tricky. But you can't trust these people with your kids. They're raising your kids. And then when the kid gets, older, by the teenage years, now you see the kid is out of control. You don't know what happened because somebody else raised your kid, not you. That's why you don't know what happened. That's why you don't know what happened. Because when he left the babysitter, where'd he go? He went to school, where they're teaching him to be a follower and not a leader. They're teaching him to follow people. And if he's having a hard time in school, if he had a hard time at the babysitter and he had a hard time in school, that's why he's picking up a gun, going and killing up everybody. And you don't know what in the world happened with your kid. People, it's a lot of evil going on right now in front of your eyes. And it is affecting the children. Because, if you can get a child groomed to be like the narcissist or to be the narcissist, after a while, it'll be hard pressed to find somebody who's not narcissistic. It'll be a hard thing. It's a struggle out here, people, between good and evil. Good and evil. And yeah, it's right in your family. It's right in your family. And I don't care how many times you go to church, or how many times you go to the synagogue or the temple, or how many times you done been baptized or whatever. Be careful. Be careful what's really, really going on. Love yourself. Protect yourself. Talk to the universe. The universe will let you know. The universe will give you answers. You got to trust it and believe. Now, I hope that I was clear about the child, because I find that to be a delicate subject too, the children. I'm not a clinician. I'm a spiritualist. I'm only telling you things that have worked for me, and the narcissistic child, the best way that I found to deal with them is to love them from afar, just like I would the narcissist. Love them from afar, because the child with the narcissistic tendencies can be healed, I believe. The narcissist cannot. He has accepted the contract with the demon. But the child with the tendencies, he can be healed, but he's or she has to decide that they want to be healed. You cannot decide for them. That's what makes you feel helpless. But don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Because that child can still one day heal from those tendencies. So anyway, I think I'm going to leave it here. And I certainly hope that I was clear with this message. And I hope that it's something that I've said in here that can help you on this journey of life. So thank you again for watching this video. And I hope to see you next time.